Alright, what's going on, guys? Crazyncman here to take a look at the brand new APS UAR, or the Urban Assault Rifle. And at the time this video was released, this is not available in the United States retailers yet. This video is being brought to you by jagprecision.com. Go over and check them out. A lot of great information there, but they are a distributor. They do not sell to the public. They sell to the retail stores. So I imagine the retail stores in California will have them first. It should be very soon, but like I said, this is not available to the public yet. So let's go over it. I'm not going to go over everything it comes with in detail because it may change, may not change. I did want to show you the very cool box. And APS, it has the Hakatsu logo. A lot of people don't know. The people that make the Hakatsu Thunder Bees and all those mortars and all that nifty stuff is actually made by APS. They own Hakatsu, or they are Hakatsu. But anyways, cool looking box, cool logo, very cool gun. Now, I've already released a teaser video of this gun. Many of you have probably already watched it. And here it is again. Now, what I got with this one, and I believe this will be how their retail packaging will come, you get a manual, which is actually very, very well written. I like how they did it. Anything they're talking about is highlighted in a red color. So, pretty good manual, better than your normal ones. You get two magazines, 250 round, I don't know whether to call these high caps, mid caps, because they have the winding wheel, and you load them from the top. So you have to wind them up, but they are only 150 rounds. We'll talk more about the magazines later. You get a little sample pack of APS BBs for those. I haven't opened them up. You get two springs, which is very cool because the APS gearbox has a quick change spring feature. So they give you not only one, but two springs. And again, we'll go into a little more detail about the springs here in a bit. And then you get a cleaning and unjamming rod, and mounted on the gun was a quick disconnect sling mount. Now, those of you who watch my teaser video, you gotta know I really, really like this, and I hope I can keep this video short, because usually when I really, really like them, the videos are really, really long. I like it because it's different. It's a bullpup style. A lot of people saying it looks like one of the Magpul PDRs or an AUG, or you know, an AUG and a Magpul had a baby. And yeah, you're kind of right. There are some features of the PDR on here, but it's something different they came up with, and it's got a great design. And built into that design is a version 3 gearbox, which is excellent because a lot of bullpups and P90 stuff like that have that version 6. It's a pain in the butt to work on. This here has just got a standard version 3 gearbox in it, but it's really compact. It's only about a little over 25 inches long. It weighs about 5 pounds 7 ounces, or not about, weighs exactly 5 pounds and 7 ounces without the battery and without the BBs. It has a 385 millimeter barrel length because of the bullpup style. And for those of you not familiar with guns, bullpup just means the magazine is behind the fire mechanism. That way you can get a longer barrel in a short gun. So this makes it excellent for CQB play, and the fact that it has a quick change spring and they give you 2 springs. You can take it in outdoor play too, because all you have to do is pop the spring out, put the next one in, you're up to about 420, 425 FPS, which is awesome. So I really, really like it. Now, a lot of people commented on the teaser like the plastic looks really cheap. And I can tell you what, the plastic is not. Remember when I reviewed the S&T Tavor, had that really crappy, cheap, thin plastic on it? This is not. It's very, very thick. Nothing's flexing or anything on this thing, but it does kind of have a shine to it. And I think that's why people were saying, oh, it looks cheap. And you got to remember, I'm shooting under almost 3,000 watts of lighting right now, so that kind of adds to it. But it does have a little shine to it, but not bad. Once you get this thing dirty, or you do a little custom paint job to it, you're never going to notice. But the plastic outside is very nice, very durable. End to end, this entire gun is made out of a plastic or polymer, nylon fiber. I don't know. They didn't tell me the exact spec. We're just going to call it plastic. But it's not cheap. It's just a little bit on the shiny side. Now let's go over the externals on it real quick. This is fully ambidextrous, which is a great, great feature on this gun. Up front here, you got a magazine release. You got your fire selector. You have a quick disconnect sling mount. You have a magazine release here, which is kind of hard to use. It's almost flush. I don't even know why they put it there, but I appreciate it, but make it a little bigger. Then you got your charging handle here, and again, being fully ambidextrous, it's got all that on both sides. You got a quick disconnect sling mount, which can go on either side. It does have a functioning bolt catch, and the bolt release is right there. And a lot of people are like, yeah, man, you can release that with your cheek. And yeah, I guess you could. You could, you know, whatever. But to make it truly fully ambidextrous, if you pull the cheek cover off, you can just pop this out, pop it in the other side, pop this out, turn it around, put it in the other side, clicks right in, boom. Now the thing is truly fully ambidextrous. That's the best thing about this gun. I really like it. I like it they got the mag release up front. I like it they got the mag release here. I like it the function and bolt catch, so when you're adjusting your hop up. And it's for right-handed shooters, left-handed shooters. This gun's going to accommodate everybody. Awesome. Like I said, body's a little shiny, but I can deal with that. No problem, because once it gets dirty, you're never going to notice. Now the battery compartment on this is up under this front rail, and I find this kind of frustrating. I can't really get my fingers in here to pinch these little tabs, but you just kind of, like I said, they're just not wide enough for my fingers to get in there. But you just pull this out, and then your wire and your fuses, all that's in here. It does have silver cord wiring. It's got a small Tamiya connector. In my teaser video, I said it fits a 9.6 volt stick type battery, and it does, but be warned, you really have to push it up into the end of there, and I found it very hard to get it out once I got it up in there, but it will fit a 9.6. That's what I've been using in it. Watch your outside wire, kind of get it rotated to where it's not binding it up, and then just push it in. But like I said, once you get it in there, man, it's way back here, and I actually had to grab it by the wires and pull it out, which I do not like to do. But a 9.6 volt stick battery does work, and it does have a decent rate of fire. You saw with my Guardian, the APS Guardian, the rate of fire is a little low on these things, which is, to me, is no big deal. I'd rather have a realistic rate of fire. I'm not going to go, you know, if I'm only shooting 10 rounds a second, it's good enough for me, man. I know how to aim. I don't need 50 rounds a second to hit somebody. And one more thing on the externals is the pistol grip, which again, a lot of people commented like, that's kind of ugly. It actually is very comfortable. The pistol grip here, it's got a compartment you just squeeze and pull off there. And this is made to house those CR123 batteries. And this was what, I have these in one of my lights. And this thing's here made to put 2 of these in there. That way you have some batteries for your tack light, especially if you're playing CQB. It's kind of cool. The only thing about this is one of the batteries doesn't stay in there. So it's a cool idea, but it's just not quite hanging on to both batteries no matter which way you put them in there. That one's always gonna come out. So nice try, but you might want to mold that a little tighter next time. But if you don't put the batteries up in there, at least you got storage. You can put some other batteries or whatever you got up in there. That's kind of cool. Another nice feature of the externals and the thought they put into this gun. All right, now internally, like I said, it's a version 3 gearbox, APS. They've been working very hard to improve their quality. The first run of guns when they started, they were a little hit or miss. This definitely picked up with the quality. Like I said, it's a standard version 3. They're not using proprietary parts anymore. It takes standard upgrade parts. It's got 7mm bushing, steel gears, all that stuff. Check out the APS Guardian video. Or go over to AST Kilo 23's channel. He's got a nice video on the blowback version of this gearbox. But anyways, it's pretty cool. It's very quiet. I found it performance, you know, even though the rate of fire was kind of low, it was just a nice smooth sounding gearbox. It has plenty of range. Range is typical of any gun, you know, in this price range and FPS. But it does the job. Like I said, rate of fire is a little low, but no big deal. I think overall the gearbox is pretty decent. We'll see how they last in the long run. You know, time will tell. But like I said, APS has been stepping up their game pretty good. Now, one great thing about this gun is, in order to disassemble it, you have to take the flash hider off, and for that reason, there's not a ton of glue. There's a set screw in it. Right here, you got to access it in the bottom. There's a set screw there, and once you loosen that set screw up, it came right off. So it's a cool feature because, like I said, you have to take that off in order to disassemble the gun. But if you want to customize it, and we all know if I like to do that, like here, this is not a good example of something to put on this gun because the barrel actually runs all the way through it. This is a Noveske sound amplifier, which again, jagprecision.com is the distributor of the Mad Bull Noveske. The barrel comes all the way to the end, and in order for these to amplify the sound, your barrel's got to be before the threads. But I just wanted to show you that boom. You know, take your flash hider off, now you got a completely different looking gun. And that's cool, and it's not glued on, because some of the glue nowadays you can't get off for anything. You can see there. Another nice feature too, if you saw in the APS Guardian video, I complained that the barrel doesn't go all the way to the plastic tip. On this one, the barrel does indeed go all the way to the end of the tip, and the best thing, it's a 6.04 tight bore stock from the factory. So it's got excellent accuracy right out of the box. No need to upgrade. Go the external stuff, boom, you got a nice gun, indoor play, outdoor play. All right, now the disassembly of this gun is very, very simple. You want to take your flash hider off. Like I said, there's a set screw in that. Pull your battery compartment cover off. Take this out. Take off the cheek rest. Push all three body pins out. That one, and this front one's a little hard to get your fingers on. Take all three of those out. Put it in semi mode, and then the front just kind of pops right off, like so. Then you have your fuse, your wiring, all that. Then this piece here, you just kind of push it forward a little bit. There's a spot, they say to push it to where it clicks. Watch the spring. And that just pulls right off. And then if you lay it on the side, there's a Phillips head screw. Oops, hit the front stock. There's a Phillips head screw in the back of the hop-up chamber. You just take that out. Oops, obviously eject the magazine. That would help. Reach in there. Oh, oops. The BB's still up in there. There it is. There's your gearbox. It's that simple. Very greasy. They did a nice job. The APS has been listening to what's going on in the gun industry. The airsoft gun. This thing's nicely lubed up. You see your fire selector here. Like I said, version 3 gearbox. 7mm bushings. Pretty nice little setup. And then you got your hop-up chamber and your outer barrel. Does have a metal hop-up chamber, but there is a little plastic feed ramp in the bottom of it. But it is a metal hop-up chamber. In order to adjust your hop-up, you push it forwards to turn it completely off, and then you pull it back if you want to get the BBs to travel on a straight path. It's got fully ambidextrous like everything else. On this side, for your left-handed shooters, there's a little place right there to grab onto and adjust your hop-up. Very cool hop-up chamber, is very effective. I'm not going to take the outer barrel off. This is a metal outer barrel. It's got this plastic nut holding it on. Looks pretty good. There's a lot of linkage in there, though. Like I said, these bullpups, you know, they need stuff to actuate, you know, all these components. But pretty cool design, very easy to work on. Nice looking little version 3 gearbox here. Quick change spring. I like it. I can highly recommend it to a new player, experienced player, whatever level of play you're at. This make a great gun for you. Now, things I didn't like about this gun. First of all, when you're reassembling, make sure the lever on the side of the gearbox that goes from safe to semi to full auto, make sure it goes in the back of the linkage. You'll see it here on the side. There's a little notch, and make sure that you got that lever up and it goes in there, or when you get it back together, it's not going to go into the fire select mode you want. Be very careful with that, and again, make sure you disassemble it and reassemble it with it in semi mode. All that linkage needs to lay flat in semi in order to get it back together. Some things I didn't like about this gun. One, the fire selector switch is very difficult to find semi and full auto, and it's really not easy to work. I can get it up into full auto mode, but you can't really get it up into semi without using your weak hand over here. and it doesn't really have a very nice click to it. It's really wonky. There's a whole big piece of linkage down the side that gets it in gear, but I didn't like that. That's in safe mode, and yeah, you can, if you know, all of a sudden somebody jumps up, you got to get it in there. You can just hit it with your finger and get it into full auto, but other than that, you got to let go and use your other hand. So I didn't like that. I don't like the way these body pins stick out. I think they should have used a two-piece that screw together, because they stick out, and if you happen to be on this side, left-handed shooter, now you got this pin right here. I mean, they're not sharp or anything. That's just kind of a real pet peeve of mine to have something like that poking out, and it's got the spring on the end of it. They should have used a two-piece body pin that you can screw together. And then, of course, like I said, the little battery compartment doesn't really hold the batteries in place very well, which is no big deal. I probably wouldn't carry batteries in there anyways. And then this mag release right here, it's real difficult to push. It's flush with the body. It doesn't stick out at all. It's very difficult to get to. And then the other issue is with the magazines, I have a Mag brand mid cap. I have a, I believe these are D-Boys or JG, the just generic metal mid cap. And then I have my, what is this? This is a D-Boys slash JG slash who knows high cap. And you can see here at this rib on the top is very short, as is with this high cap. So high caps fit it just fine. Probably any brand. They're a little wonky, but I actually think it looks good with the longer mag in there. But the Mag brand mid caps do not fit. The JG brand mid caps do not fit, and the only reason they don't fit is because of that rib. Like we went over with the F2000, they had an issue with a bolt in the way that you couldn't use these. So that's one of my biggest complaints about this gun. Like I said, you can see how long this is right here, and that prevents the Mag brand mid caps from going in there. So not a big deal, but you'll have to watch out. We'll have to document what mags actually fit this thing. I like these, but I just wish they made it a mid cap rather than having the wheel on the bottom if it's only 150 rounds. But hey, you can't have everything in this world. Still a great gun. Like I said, with the high cap in there, I think it looks pretty cool with a longer mag in. So I'd probably run it like that anyways. I think they figured most people are going to use this in CQB, so they'll be running a high cap. I don't know, but that was one of my biggest complaints. And lastly, my probably other than the magazine, my biggest complaint was this cheek rest comes off too easy. Okay, let's pull this off. It doesn't have a lot of meat inside here. You know, it's just made to flex and then lock in these grooves, but there's just not enough material in here to keep it locked in, and I didn't like that. And you don't have to worry about it coming off when you got the charging handle up in there. But every once in a while I'd grab it like this and go, oops, damn, you know. So, and I can see if you have it on your gear, you got it hanging by a sling, you're walking along, you know, a piece of gear grabs it, and it just comes off just way too easy. I didn't like that at all. They need to leave way more material in here to get it to lock on. So that was actually probably my biggest complaint about this gun, was this cheek rest. I can deal with the magazines, I can deal with the shiny finish, but this thing just, it's too easy to get it on and off. They need to make that a little tighter. But other than that, great gun. I think you're going to see a lot of these on the field. Look for them in your local retailer soon. And I hope this video helped you out making a decision on what airsoft gun to buy.